Alaska, summer 2013. The silence of the taiga is broken only by the wind and the occasional cry of birds. Among the endless greenery walks a lone man with a backpack. His name is Michael Rivers. He goes deeper and deeper into the wilderness. This journey isn't a tourist adventure. It's something personal. The last video, discovered 10 years later, would reveal his final moments. But for now, only the forest, only him, and something else, something he didn't yet know. Michael disappeared, simply vanished in one of the wildest places on the US map. It seemed like a typical story, another hiker who never returned. But it wasn't that simple. This man was not ordinary, and his disappearance was no accident. Michael Rivers was born in Seattle in 1981. As a child, he had a peculiar hobby, collecting topographic maps. While other kids played video games or joined sports clubs, Michael spent hours studying terrain features, routes, and imagining himself hiking through them. He was 9 when he first stayed alone in the forest overnight, by choice. His father, a former soldier, supervised from afar, but Michael managed on his own. From then on, he knew the forest was his element. Michael grew up quiet and observant, not the soul of the party, but calm, reserved, and reliable. A listener rather than a talker. In university, he studied engineering and spent his free time outdoors. His classmates couldn't understand how he could spend every weekend hiking, but Michael would just shrug. For him, it was a necessity. After graduation, he became a programmer. He worked remotely, freelancing, and sometimes joining startups. Clients valued his precision and discipline, but he always kept his distance. His life split into two halves, work and the wilderness. At 20, he completed his first serious route, the Appalachian Trail, nearly 3,500 kilometers. He went alone. No GPS, just a map, a compass, and a journal. Later came the Rocky Mountains, the Grand Canyon, the Arizona deserts, and northern Canada. He studied not only landscapes, but also plants, animal behavior, and climate patterns. He documented every hike in notebooks, photos, and videos, but never published them. His archive remained on an external hard drive at home. His few friends called him the Forest Coder. He could spend weeks working behind a screen, then suddenly vanish into the wild for 2 or 3 weeks. He'd return lean, tanned, with new notes and a calm smile. He often said, "The city is noisy, but in the forest, there's silence, and everything becomes clear." Michael was meticulous in his hiking. He wasn't an adrenaline junkie. He avoided unnecessary risks, always carried a first aid kit, extra food, and backup maps. He even calculated calories and planned routes down to the hour. His journals looked like military reports, every small detail logged. Even when he explored untouched areas, he always knew where he'd camp and how quickly he could return if injured. The goal isn't heroism. The goal is to come back. Survivors prepare in advance. And he always came back. Always, until that summer. In summer 2013, Michael planned perhaps the most ambitious hike of his life. The destination, southern Alaska. No trails, no villages, no communication. Only dense forests, swamps, and lonely ridges. He studied this route for 3 months, drawing maps, checking satellite images, comparing reports from hunters and survivalists. The hike was planned for 14 days. Michael knew almost nobody went there, and that's exactly what attracted him. In his last call to his sister, he said, "I need to reset, completely. That silence, it heals." He promised to check in on August 18th at a designated checkpoint. He never did. That hike became his last. Alaska didn't return him. And only 10 years later, when an abandoned camera was discovered in the forest, it became clear. He went far. But he wasn't alone. In the spring of 2013, Michael began preparing for a new route. This wasn't just another hike. He wanted to go beyond the familiar and venture somewhere untouched by human footsteps. Alaska, one of the last true wilderness frontiers in the United States. A place where you can walk hundreds of kilometers and never meet another soul. He chose the southern part of the state. This wasn't a tourist route. It was pure wilderness, swamps, coniferous thickets, rocky mountain passes, and loose scree slopes. There were no cell towers, no marked trails, and no GPS signals. It was just you and nature. Michael understood exactly what he was getting into, so he prepared meticulously. His notebook filled with pages of notes, weather conditions, potential water sources, natural shelters from the wind. He consulted meteorologists and hunters on forums, collecting reports from anyone who had been near the region. Some nights, he'd sit over his laptop surrounded by printed satellite images, taping them together like a puzzle. He even bought a custom laminated map to make sure it wouldn't get ruined by rain. Michael's gear was carefully chosen. He bought a new backpack with an aluminum frame, a tent made of durable waterproof material, an emergency communication kit, and a solar panel to strap onto his pack. He carried a compact water filter, a compass, spare batteries, a notebook, a camera, and a digital camcorder. That camera would later become the key to the entire mystery. Michael left a detailed route plan with his sister, a map with stopping points, dates, coordinates, and alternative routes. He noted clearly, on August 18th, he would reach checkpoint B7, where a local hunter would pick him up. He backed up the route on a USB drive, left a hard copy at home, and even told his neighbors, "If I'm not back by this date, raise the alarm." The last confirmed sighting of Michael was on August the 3rd, 2013, at a gas station near Anchorage. Surveillance footage shows him smiling, joking with the cashier, buying an energy drink, chips, and a protein bar. The camera captured him walking out, tossing his backpack into the trunk, and driving away in his black SUV. That was the last official record of Michael Rivers before he vanished. At first, nobody worried. Michael had been late before. Sometimes he'd miss his check-ins by a day. Bad weather, a dead battery, lost satellite signal. But when 3 days passed without a word, his sister panicked. On August 19th, she began calling local ranger stations, parks, and rescue services. By August 20th, volunteers had joined the effort. By August 21, the first official search and rescue team arrived in the region. The search started at the entrance of the national park, where Michael was supposed to begin his hike. Rescuers discovered tire tracks matching his SUV. Beyond that, nothing. They found his vehicle parked on the edge of the wilderness. The keys were hidden under the mat. The trunk was locked. Inside, food, a thermos, books. But his main gear was missing, meaning he had already set out. On the fourth day, a helicopter with a thermal camera spotted a strange, scorched patch of earth. At the site, they found a burnt-out campfire, charred branches, shredded tent fabric, and stones arranged into an arrow pointing toward a ravine. A ground team headed that way, but tracking was nearly impossible. Mossy ground absorbed footprints. They found one clear boot print matching Michael's size, but it disappeared after a few meters. They searched the ravine, riverbanks, and nearby caves. No backpack, no clothing, no body, only dense forest and silence. Later, local hunters joined. One, an older man named Hugh, examined the area and said, "If he died, there should be a body. If an animal dragged him, there should be drag marks. But here, there's nothing. It's like he vanished into thin air." The official theory, an accident. Perhaps a bear attack, a fall, or drowning. But there were no signs of a struggle. No blood, no torn clothing, no paw prints, no feathers, no remains. The family didn't believe it. Michael was careful. He wouldn't make mistakes. The search continued 3 more weeks before it was called off. The report concluded, presumed dead, body not recovered. Those who worked the case still talk about it with a chill in their voices. After the search ended, silence followed. Not the silence of the forest, but the silence of forgotten stories. People moved on, but Michael's family didn't. His mother, Mary Rivers, refused to give up. Every year, on August 3rd, she flew to Anchorage, took a taxi to the trailhead, and lit a single white candle at the park gates. She sat there for hours, sometimes all night. "If he's alive," she said once, "he'll see the light." Michael's sister, Laura, created a blog called The Last Route. She posted photos from his hikes, scans of his notes, and fragments of old maps. People commented, offering support, sharing similar experiences, or proposing theories. Over time, it became an online community. Then, on Reddit's r Unresolved Mysteries forum, a post titled "The Ghost Programmer: How Did Michael Rivers Vanish?" went viral. Amateur investigators started digging into weather records, satellite maps, and local archives. Theories ranged from cults to serial killers hiding in the woods. Some believed Michael had walked away from society, building an off-grid cabin somewhere in the wilderness. Rumors emerged every few months. "I saw a man like him near an abandoned relay station. There's a hermit in northern British Columbia who looks just like him." All dead ends. A darker theory suggested Michael stumbled upon something he wasn't supposed to see, and someone, or something, made him disappear. The family refused to comment, clinging to hope. Mary wrote countless letters to the Department of the Interior, the National Park Service, even the FBI, begging for renewed searches using drones, sonar, and AI-driven imaging. Most replies were polite rejections. Time passed. Laura stopped updating the blog. Reddit went quiet. But inside Mary's home, nothing changed. Michael's photos still covered the walls. His journals lined the shelves. And every August, her phone alarm still read, "Call the park." And then, in June 2023, everything changed. On June 16th, 2023, 3 men from a local hunting club ventured into the southern section of the same park. One of them, Joshua Green, later recalled, "I saw a tree root sticking out of the ground. I was about to step on it, but something shiny caught my eye. They unearthed an old digital camera. The body was battered, the lens cracked, but inside was a memory card. Back at camp, Joshua, a former IT specialist, extracted the card and connected it to his laptop. They expected it to be corrupted. Instead, it revealed 7 video files, all dated August 2013. The first showed trees. The second, a campfire. The third, Michael's face, exhausted but unmistakable. "That's him," one hunter whispered. They turned the evidence over to authorities. The camera was sent to Anchorage, then to a federal lab. Experts confirmed it was Michael's camera, purchased a month before he vanished. News leaked first to a local paper, then Reddit. The case exploded again. Laura revived her blog. Everyone waited for the videos. 2 weeks later, 2 clips were released with the family's consent. No sound. No final frames. Just Michael smiling at the camera, saying, "If you're watching this, it means I'm already home." He couldn't have been more wrong. 7 video files were recovered. Most were damaged, but fragments survived. Video 1, Day 1. Michael walks along a trail, joking, "If you're watching this, it means I didn't eat my map." He smiles, pans the camera across mountains, sky, and a stream. Video 2, Day 3. Michael sets up his tent, mentions distant wolves, then laughs about his terrible cooking. Video 3, Day 6. It's raining hard. Michael whispers, "Last night there was a storm. Something scratched the tent. Thought it was a raccoon, but the sound was wrong, like claws dragging." He freezes, stares off camera, switches on his radio. Silence. Video 4, Day 7. Night. Heavy breathing. Michael whispers, "I'm not alone." Between the trees, a tall, thin silhouette stands motionless. Michael yells, "Who's there?" The figure vanishes. Video 5, Day 9. The camera lies in grass. Michael's voice. 3 days. Someone's following me. I'm not crazy. Tonight I set a trap. Video 6, Day 10. Michael runs, flashlight shaking, breathing ragged. They're not animals. Not people. Something between, he whispers. A loud crack. Camera drops. 2 pairs of legs visible. Movement. Darkness. Video 7, Corrupted. A faint whisper. You shouldn't have come. Or maybe, they weren't supposed to know. No one agrees. The internet exploded again. Reddit threads, podcasts, Telegram groups. Everyone debated theories. Official theory. Panic, disorientation, accident. But it doesn't explain the videos. Theory 1. The Hermit. Someone living deep in the woods stalked him, but no traces, no body. Theory 2. Military experiments. Restricted zones, hidden operations, silenced evidence. Theory 3. The supernatural. Thin places where worlds overlap, the whisper, the silhouette, evidence Michael crossed into something else. Laura, Michael's sister, said only, "We saw him walking. We know he fought. And we know he wasn't alone." 2 years later, no answers. The camera sits in evidence. Forensic experts, linguists, psychologists, none have solved it. Michael Rivers' body was never found. Status: missing, presumed dead. Now there's more than silence. There are images, his voice, his fear, his fight. This is no longer just one man's disappearance. It's about boundaries, between man and nature, between reality and the unknown, between logic and the unexplainable. And maybe, deep in that forest, something still hears his voice, still watches the light of the camera, still waits.